back to the Forex Lounge X System review. This is an add-on from our previous review we published the other day. I wanted to discuss in a little bit more detail the results for the X System long and short-term portfolios over the month of April. This is the results for the short-term X System portfolio over the month of April, from April 1st through April 30th. These are the profit and loss lines, or profit and loss curves for each currency pair individually. What we want to do is identify the best and worst currency pairs to trade that we would have traded in the month of April, because oftentimes what performs very, very well in one month carries over to the next, and we should also identify those currency pairs that do not perform well. So for the month of April, starting at the top, the number one performing currency pair was a cable yen. This is a short-term portfolio, netting out results of about 341 pips for the month. Number two, the euro yen at 221. As always, you can pause or rewind this movie if there's any details that you'd like to repeat. Number three, the CAD yen at 97 pips. Number four, the dollar yen at 71 pips. And then euro Swissy and pound Swissy just a little bit above profitability. The pound Swissy actually closing a little bit negative. The euro pound down 33, pound Swissy down 80. Then we look at the dollar CAD down 87, and we take the euro dollar and the rest of the currency pairs that we have not mentioned already, Kiwi dollar included in that, all losing money for the month of April. Pound dollar, and the worst performing currency pair, the pound Aussie. Again, the top four on the short-term portfolio, cable yen, euro yen, then we look at CAD yen and dollar yen. Long-term results for the month of April designated by currency pair are as follows. The number one performing currency pair in the long-term X system, euro dollar, making about 352 pips for the month of April. Now, number two, the euro yen. Euro yen is good on the long and short-term portfolio, 341 pips. Number three, we take a look at the dollar Swissy at 284. Number four, the dollar yen at 129. Number five, the euro CAD at 117. That's 117 pips. Pound Aussie made 67 pips. Then we look at the euro Swissy with 2 pips. And then the losing currency pairs are the euro pound, the Aussie dollar. We take a look at the dollar CAD, the pound Swissy, the CAD yen, and the worst performing currency pair, the Aussie yen. That's in the long-term portfolio. Again, the top four on the long-term portfolio, euro dollar, euro yen, dollar Swissy, and dollar yen. Notice the dollar yen on both long and short-term portfolios has performed very, very well. Now, this is something we mentioned the other day, but I think it's worth repeating because it certainly holds a lot of importance. Take a look at the following chart. This is a short-term portfolio, the short-term X system P&L. That's the blue line. It's a profit and loss, closing out the month of April with a total amount of around 16,095 pips since inception. This is going back to March of 2009. Now, the violet line represents the all-time equity peaks. The all-time equity peak, the most amount of pips that short-term X system portfolios made is around 16,600. Short-term X system portfolio closed out the month of April 16,100. So around 500 pips off the top. The black line at the bottom shows how much we've pulled off the highs. We can see the market's pulled off, not the market, but the short-term portfolios pulled about 500 pips off the highs. This black line has moved up around 500 pips or so. Historically, when the short-term X system draws down, we can see anywhere from 500 to 1,000, sometimes even 2,000 pips off the high. This does present a very good opportunity to get involved because subsequent moves up can be really dramatic. Take a look at the last significant drawdown. This was the beginning of February of 2010 of this year. X system was down about 2,400 pips off of its high. And at that period of time, the X system portfolio, beginning of February, was around 13,000 pips. Very, very quickly, from the beginning of February, we'll just take 1 month. At the beginning of March, we went from, what did we say here? 13,000 pips. We went up to 15,500. About 2,500 pips were made on the short-term equity, on the short-term X system portfolio in the subsequent month following that drawdown. So far, we have not drawn down a lot. Doesn't mean that we can't go up. No, we certainly can. But this is not considered a significant drawdown where we stand now. However, take a look at the long-term portfolio, which I think presents even better of an opportunity. Historically, let's take a look back we're taking a look at the third week in March. The X system portfolio has drawn down. The black line has drawn down about 1,600 pips. And again, this is the blue line is where we were on 19,300 pips. That's where the long-term portfolio was the third week in March. Well, from the third week in March, we move forward to the second week in April, about 3 weeks following that. We went from an equity of around 19,000 to an equity of around 21,000. Made about 2,000 pips in the 3 weeks that followed that drawdown. The last drawdown that occurred on the long-term portfolio, we went down about 1,600, almost 2,000 pips. Currently, the X system long-term portfolio is down about 2,000, 2,200 pips, closing out the month of April. So the short-term portfolio we took a look at before shows us historically the drawdowns have to be quite significant, long-term as well, but the long-term I think we're much closer to that point of reversal where we get involved in those trades, and those trades that follow significant drawdowns tend to be very, very good. And as a reminder, here's the X system actual application. This is a dashboard tab. We can go to the long or short-term monitors that will give us our actual X system performance, the open trades that are released, such as a dollar-yen long at 94.51 currently. That's the open amount of profit or loss. The pips have made this week so far 318. Total number of pips 16,470. We can go to the long and short-term history buttons, and this will give us the exact history of every single trade. And also click on the charts button, so it's just something a little bit new. Go to the X system, and we can pull up the X system long and short-term portfolios or any specific currency pair. Remember the dollar-yen on the long and short-term portfolio had seemed to perform fairly well over the month of April. Well, we click on the All button at the bottom, and this shows us the entire P&L for the long and short-term X system by currency pair, and these results are up to date. These results are updated live, unlike our presentations here released on a monthly basis. With that said, if you have any questions, do not hesitate. Email us anytime, info@forexlounge.com. We thank you for joining us. We wish you a great day, all profitable trades, and we look forward to seeing you back soon. Back inside the Forex Lounge.